Lay LK at when you're holding it down, bring that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin. We are here. But before we get started, big shout out to Dave Farrar of Geek Fine Art. This is a artist sponsored wall. Check him out on Instagram. Super dope. Tons of cool pieces behind me. There's one piece by Karan Grant, but most of the pieces are by Geek Fine Art. Check him out on Instagram, and I'll put the link somewhere around. Anyway, you know what it is. We here Sunday morning, so we're gonna be like, hallelujah. And we're gonna talk about some silly stuff, some serious stuff. But I know, we gotta warm them up before we get started. All right, okay, we'll warm them up. All right, we're gonna warm them up, and then all right. So what you, Amanda Seals? All right, cool. Amanda Seals. Oh, you know what? Not that. Let me back it up. This is NERDSoul Light, and I'm also joined by Lady Lisa. Say what's up.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so we are here. We're glad you showed up. So Amanda Seals, this is slightly old news, but she made it new news by just bothering the Twitter sphere and the social sphere on her own. Story is there's an Emmys party. It's a Black Emmys party. It's for Black Hollywood, kind of like actors, producers, managers. You know the story. And she's like, hey, look, I'm a +1. I'm Jesse Owens, right? Yeah. I'm Jesse Owens +1. And I'm going to go on in. But she neglected to remember that her and the person that organizes this party, they don't get down like that. Now, she goes to the party. People like, yo, you ain't on the list. She like, yo, I got to be on the list. Then she gets somebody to get her in there anyway. And of course, the person that organized the party, they ain't down with her. They're like, look, I'm sorry, but you got to go. Look, we don't want none of this mess. We've had it before. We don't chill. You got to go.
But this is the thing that's just tripping me out. When you go someplace, say a wedding, which is typical, and someone's +1, you don't have all this rigmarole.
Nope.
Because guess what? The person who's +1 you are, you're there right beside them. They come in and say, hey, this is such and such or whatever. Or they don't say, hey, this is such and such because they see you with them.
True.
My question is this. If you're Jesse Owens +1, where's Jesse Owens?
Yeah, why wasn't Jesse Owens like,
because
yo?
You want his +1.
Look, all I can do is I can only go by her story.
Mm-hmm. Because you weren't his +1. Because it wouldn't be all this confusion and rigmarole if you were there with him because he would be saying she's my +1.
True that.
So it sounds like you weren't really his +1.
Yeah, because she's always, the funny thing is she's always a +1. She's always a +1 in these stories.
It sounded like somebody wanted her to be the -1.
Look, I don't know what went on between her and, is it Valerie? Who's the one that runs the Victoria? It's something with a V. All right, look, the girl that she's Issa Rae's publicist, Amanda Seals has a long history of getting on people's bad sides. She's self-righteous. She ain't never wrong.
Entitled.
She's entitled. And she shows it. Thank you. She shows it a lot, a whole lot. And the problem is you're in an industry where if you're nice, you go a bit further. And also, if you're mean, it's usually because you're super hot. She ain't hot enough. It's like Katherine Heigl. You can't be mean and you ain't hot like that. You ain't hot enough to be this mean.
But my thing is,
it's like you all bougie-fied.
But my thing is, regardless of all of that, this is what really troubles me.
Yeah.
If someone is having an event
True.
and they don't like you and they don't want to invite you, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You may not like it. You may really want to be there. And I understand because all your people are there.
Yeah, all your friends are there.
But she don't like you. Everybody else there can like you, but they are not throwing the event. This is not their event. This is her event. And you're doing all this dipping and diving and finagling trying to get into somebody else's event.
They don't want you. Why are you trying to force yourself into something that don't want you?
And then you get all upset and want to go live when they kick you out. What would you do?
She was like, I ain't gonna cry, y'all.
I mean,
well, it's messed up because she blamed. All right, first there's a white woman named Kiara. I don't know. I need to see this white woman. You need to produce proof of this white woman named Kiara.
Produce the person.
You need to produce documents. But she's like, this white woman kicked me out. It's like, well, not. I mean, yes, but like the real person that kicked you out was Victoria or Valerie.
You know this.
Yeah, so don't be blaming it on Kiara. Kiara just doing her job. If she don't do her job, she's gonna get fired.
It's like I hate to say this, but don't do a Monique. Don't make this a racial thing when it's a you thing.
Yeah, like you know how I feel about Monique. And guys, if you watch the show way, way back, you know how I feel about Monique as well. So, and I got love for Monique, but I think Monique needs to get back into the business of being funny instead of being on this apology tour type, I guess putting people on blast tour kind of thing. But I'll say this, okay, and this isn't exactly, because you told me this wasn't exact the same, but a person that I know and we work in the same space, in the geek space. We don't get along. We had a rift. It was about a year ago. We had a rift. Didn't go well. She felt away. I felt away. Now we're at San Diego Comic-Con, all right, and we chilling at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm with someone that I'm chilling with. I'm trying to protect the innocent. So this person knows that person. He knows both of us. So he's going to that table, and I don't know he's going to that table. Now, when we get up to the table and I see that person, do I go up to that table? No, I continued walking around to this other set of tables. Why? Because I know we don't vibe like that. So I'm not even going to create a situation. I'm not even going to try to insert myself. She's there with other people hanging and chilling, and I'm like, yo, look. Why would I do this? This is a nice atmosphere. Everybody having a good time, eating, drinking. Why am I going to do? I mean, yeah, it's an open forum.
It's not her event.
Yeah, it's not her event.
Amanda Seals could get away with that.
But see, her table. If I went into her table, that would be kind of like me.
Was it her table?
Well, I mean, but you know what I mean. It's her circle. You know what I'm saying? And if I penetrated her circle, then she'd be like.
Don't own the circle.
But you know what I mean. What I'm saying is, I didn't put myself into. Into her atmosphere.
You could have very well gone over there and spoken to who you want to speak to and not speak to her and keep it moving. Yeah, but I would have. It's a whole other thing.
And you know what I'm saying? In I guess in effort to not cause the drama, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill.
But you ain't causing drama.
I know, but I'm just saying this is something that's sort of similar. What I'm saying is Amanda saw this situation where she knows it's her and someone else that don't get along. Why would she go? See, I saw a situation where me and someone don't get along. I didn't go.
It's not the same.
I know it's not. I'm just saying.
In your scenario, she's not throwing the event.
I know, but what I'm saying is it's similar because we would be together. And I don't want to be in a situation where we're together unless I know that we squashed it. Now, I mean, I could try to reach out and be like, yo, look, hey, it's been a while. Let's squash it. But I haven't done it. That's on me. But all I'm saying is I didn't inject myself. And then I didn't go live from the place saying, I should be able to sit down with that table. I ain't gonna cry, y'all. I know, but I'm just saying, I know it's different. I know it's not one-to-one. But what is one-to-one is I don't like her, she don't like me, and I made sure that we work together because I know what that will produce. She knows Victoria or Valerie or whatever name don't like her, and she knows she don't like her. And then she proceeded to try to force herself to be around her. So I'm like,
not just be around her, but be at the event that she is throwing. That's what it's like.
I don't get it, man.
If all your people and all your family is at somebody's cookout,
Yeah.
But they didn't invite you. You can't just roll up to their cookout and be like, well, everybody else I know is here. Yeah, but I purposely didn't invite
you. You can't come.
Your grandma, your mama, your dog, everybody can be here.
Say,
but
you.
I didn't invite you.
So Amanda, of course, she's been adding on and responding to, people on Twitter were like, yo, you shouldn't have went, you should stayed your butt home. And then like, she's like, oh, well, I did so much for our people. I'm like, what have you believed? She must have, I don't know what alternate history she been in, where she like, she been uplifting her people. Now maybe I missed the upliftment.
And even if that's the case,
they ain't got nothing to do with this party.
Exactly. They ain't got nothing to do with this party. If Martin Luther the King, and I said the King, Martin Luther the King was not invited to somebody's party, I'm very comfortable in saying he's not going to just roll up in somebody's house uninvited. And I think it's safe to say he did a little bit more for our people than she did.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A wee bit. So with that said, hopefully this is over. Hopefully next year there won't be an Emmy issue. Hopefully she'll just stay home. Or maybe her and Victoria or Valerie or I don't know, Vivian or whatever. It's somewhere to be.
It's not going to get no better after this.
Well, maybe behind the scenes she'll be like, look, you know what? I was bugging. And she'll be like, you know what? What is it that I've done or what have I said? And she'd be like, you said this, and be like, you know what? I was tripping and I'll get better.
But she already spoke on that. She remember her like hour-long video?
Oh,
she already spoke on like, well, if you don't like me.
Oh, because the professionalism of black,
that's your problem.
That's your problem.
My problem.
Like, there's a lot of people that don't like you. Mad people have come out about her talking about like, yo, you did me wrong. Maybe it's not everyone's problem. Maybe you did something. Now, big shout out to Alan Lewis in the chat. What up? NERDSoul in the house. NERDSoul like say hi. So I don't know when. Maybe next year she'll just stay home.
She won't.
She gonna be another +1.
Mm.
She gonna be coming. I don't know. Try to change her name or something. I don't know. But guys, we got other silly stuff going on. Gina Rodriguez was trending once again. Actually, Gina Rodriguez and the Fugees were trending this week. And I was like, oh, snap, the Fugees?
Well, it's cool.
Word? I was like, where the Fugees trending? Oh, snap, Praz. Praz coming back. Everybody, Lauren coming back. And then I was like, oh, the Fugees and Gina are trending together. And then I was like, oh, well, what happened? Maybe is she doing like an event or a documentary on them or something? Nah. Gina Rodriguez was listening to Ready or Not from the classic album The Score, and she was singing along with Lauryn Hill's verse. Now, of course, we've been to karaoke events where there have been white people that have gotten to a line and paused.
And it's funny too, because when we see a white person and we know what song they're doing, all the black people like roll up and they like freeze, looking like you better not, you better not.
Say it. I dare. I said I dare.
You better. Yeah. And then when they do,
oh, word up, Alan Lewis going through rebranding. Oh yeah, because I know you about to drop some album or something like that. So I see you know what I'm saying, about to drop that and you getting your sing on. Yeah. Me. But anyway, speaking of singing, Gina Rodriguez said, hey, I got a voice. I need to shine. So she sings along with the song. There's a line where she says, fronting people give me heebie-jeebies. That's what Lauryn Hill says. But instead of people, she uses a term that usually only we are allowed to use. But apparently Gina Rodriguez said, I want to get in on the fun. And then she says it and people call her out for it, rightfully so. And then she comes with an apology that says, I'm sorry, I was singing Fugees. Like, whoa, we're not mad at you because you were singing the Fugees. It's not like the Fugees did something wrong. You did something wrong.
Yeah, and it's like, stuff like that makes me mad.
That made it worse.
The thing is, don't give a ratty apology. If you're going to give this ratty apology, like I'm sorry, God. She may as well have said it like that because it pretty much came out. I'm sorry, God. What is that? But then she comes with another apology.
Yeah, apology.
You know, like she's doing Macbeth. You know,
yeah, because she wrote that joint out strong in that post.
It's just like, oh, and I'm just so disappointed in myself, and I just can't even look myself in the mirror. It's like, what? You went from one extreme to the other. Because you are sincere. So you go from one where it's like you really are mad that you gotta apologize to the other where you're doing like, you know, Shakespeare. It's not that deep, honey, but just sit down.
Sit down. Sit all the way down. Big shout out to Little Miss Chocolate in the chat. She said, "What's up to Lady Lisa, NERDSoul Light." Alan Lewis, he just launched Music Sound Influence. All right, cool. All right, word. Send me a link on Twitter or something so I can see what's up. Word out is gonna be nice. I'm excited for that. So my thing, and I know we've gone back and forth about who should and who should not say it.
Nobody.
Bottom line is, regardless of what you hear someone say, you know you still ain't supposed to say it. I don't care. My thing is, you know it. You would not do this to gay people. You would not do this to Jewish people. You would not do this to Asian people. You would not do this to your own Latinx people. So why in the world Black people gotta get it?
Well, this is
why in the world?
Now,
but it's interesting that this is the only one you want to use.
But this is and this is part of what we talked about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not defending her. Because my thing is this, regardless of how I feel, because I feel no one should be using the N-word.
What?
But regardless of that, it's intent. And her intent was really
she was trying to be funny.
Because out of the whole song,
that's the only line.
That's the only part that you gonna record.
Yeah.
And then giggle about it after you say it.
Your intent you was trying to be funny.
You was trying to be funny. But my thing is this, you know, when you say, you know, she didn't do this to Jews, she didn't do this to gay people, we seem to be the only group, the only race specifically, that uses such a derogatory, demeaning word towards ourselves. We use that for ourselves. And so I think for some people, it's laughable. They laugh at us because it's like, oh my gosh, we don't even need to really try to break you down with this word because y'all doing it yourselves. And I'm going to join in and just laugh at you. So it's no other group that's already doing this to themselves where someone else can join in and say, well, I don't see the problem. Y'all use the word. No other group you can use that excuse with except us. And then we have to backpedal and, you know, shuck and jive.
Well, not exactly.
In terms of, well, we can use it because it's a term of endearment. Okay, we know good and well that on most music, it is not used as a term of endearment. It's used in the context in which it was formed. Yeah. You're calling someone else in the music the N-word in a negative way most of the time.
Yeah. Now, I'll fire back with this one. One, we're not the only group. Women, I've heard women normally say, hey, B, what's up, B? But that's not me.
I don't agree with that either.
But what I'm saying is, that's them. They can do that. I can't. And you want to know why? Because that's their relationship. That's the tying of the two. One is who you are, and two is your relationship. So yeah, dude. So anyway, and I would never, and see the thing is, I would never want to say that to a woman. Why? Because I'm not trying to be funny like Gina was. Now, second, there's a relationship thing. Like my mom calls my uncle, and calls my uncle Barney, because that's his name. But I don't call him Barney because that's not my relationship with him. His name is Uncle Barney. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is that's their relationship. Like people of the LGBTQIA community use the F word, right? I've heard them use the F word loud and proud, but I don't say it because I'm not part of their group, and everybody's fine. And I don't have a need or want to use that word. So why does Gina want to use it so bad? That's why I'm like, she's trying to be funny. And she's always been like, she's Afro-Latina. Big shout out to Little Miss.
What did she ever say that?
Little Miss Chocolate said, why did she lie saying she's Afro-Latina? We saw her mother and father. Her parents don't look like mine. So not even one parent. Yeah, what she tries to do is she'll try to come out as Afro-Latina and to try to get protection. You know what I'm saying? To try to.
Oh, that's right. She did say that.
She was like, my father is dark skinned. Man, her father light. Her father light and bright. Big shout out to Alan Lewis. He said, and then the sad fact that people were defending her, saying that cough, cough, Sean from Boys to Men, cough, cough, Amara La Negra. Yeah. Sean from Boys to Men and Amara La Negra, they both came out and was like, oh, you know, it's okay. First thing, no, it's not okay. It's not like for her. Stop trying to get clout from a girl that you don't need clout from.
This is the thing too. We can't, as individual Black people, give someone else general permission to use that word. If it's offensive to one Black person,
yes,
then it's just offensive.
Yeah, and just let it be.
You know,
let it be. Like if someone's offensive,
you can give them permission to use it in your house.
But
you can't give them permission to use it
for all us
in all public forums and us not be offended.
Who told Amara La Negra that she was Amara? I know you. Amara watches the show. You're not part of the Black delegation, so what I'm gonna need you to do is.
Who's part of the Black delegation?
I don't know, but I know she ain't part of the Black delegation. Sean from Boys to Men, hits you have made, but you are not part of the Black delegation. I don't know why do we always have to go through this? But you know what? We all that. Gina Rodriguez, she whack. I would just like Gina Rodriguez to trend for something positive once in her life. Like just something positive. Like
she needs it right now.
She needs it like bad. So she needed that. So big shout out to always a student in the house. Big shout out to Alan Lewis dropping knowledge. Alan Lewis said Gina tried to pull Evelyn and claim Afro-Latina, and she ain't even Afro-Latina. Like, I don't know why acting like. Here's the thing. Everybody want to, I mean, this is from Paul Mooney. Everybody want to be Black, but don't nobody want to be Black. And I'm just leaving it right there. And all of a sudden you Afro-Latina. Now you was. Because everything that you said that's been anti-Black before this has told us that you're not. Now all of a sudden you Black. You Black too. You with us. Oh, always a student said, I honestly don't know who Gina Rodriguez is. She's an actress that's on Jane the Virgin. She's all right as an actress. She's not killing the game. She's not horrible either. She's kind of just there. She's actually exactly where she needs to be.
Around for a while.
Yeah.
Stuff here and there.
But she's just kind of like there. Her and Amanda Seals is like the same level of like,
hang out.
Yo, you know what? They need to hang out. They would do well together.
Share their trouble.
Oh boy, but we got the silliness out of the way.
Maybe Gina could call Amanda the N-word and see how that rolls over.
Oh boy, well you know she uplifts our community so much. She'll be right there fighting for us, right beside us. Oh boy. Alan Lewis says Sean's Black card is denied. So all right, we're out of here. We're silliness out of the way. We got some. We gonna show some love. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. RVA, what up? Good to see y'all. Glad y'all checking in. Queen Latifah.
Yes.
The Women's Summit.
Yes.
That's some good news. Queen Latifah came through. She was like, ladies first, ladies first.
Yeah. She was at the Women's Summit in our hometown of Richmond, Virginia.
Word up. And it's good. It's good to see, Queen Latifah come through, doing something positive for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Still ladies first, still holding it down. And there wasn't no negative press attached to it. Nothing crazy. It was just a celebrity doing something nice. Yeah. Just coming through, empowering women, talking about their struggles, their ups and downs, helping them through, maybe help them navigate their path, whether socially or personally or professionally. It was just good. It was just good to hear. It was just some good news. And sometimes we need good news. Yeah. Sometimes we just need to be like, you know what? It's crazy out here, but this is good. Yeah. Big shout out to Black Cherubim. Says the word is not offensive to me, but I'm not responsible for the other people's reactions. So I recommend them to not use it.
You know what? And I like that comment.
Yeah, because it's like,
it goes back
I can't protect you.
Right. It goes back to, you can say, people love that, I can do what I want to do. You are exactly right.
Yep.
You can do what you want to do.
It's true.
But you cannot control how somebody else responds. So you got to be ready for that. Because guess what? They can do what they want to do too.
Yeah,
and they might want to do it to you.
Look, because people love be like freedom of speech. Be like, yeah, but that freedom could get you smacked in the mouth.
It could.
Don't look.
Well, they can't do that. No, they're not supposed to, but they can.
They can. Now, what can happen to them after that?
Right.
We can't, because you can choose your actions and not your consequences.
Exactly. So it might be a whole lot of consequences going on, but that don't change what they did.
Oh, Alan Lewis said Queen Latifah's debut album is celebrating the 30th anniversary. What? Right? Because Mos Def celebrated his 20. You know what? I might have to holler at Queen Latifah on this weekend and you know what I'm saying, review that album. It's 30 years. Wow. Now that's what's up. You know, she's on my top 10 MC list. So I got love for Queen Latifah. She the bomb. Queen Latifah and Missy, both of them, they in untouchable status. Like you don't mess with them, leave them alone. Black Cherubim says, I'm from DC, but lived in Alexandria most of my life. Word. See, we got some more VA people up in here. Word up. So, you know, we deal with some silliness. We had some good news. I know you saw a documentary that you wanted to talk about a little bit with Chelsea Handler. Because see, I didn't see it, but you saw it.
Bless her bones. Okay. So she did a documentary discussing white privilege.
Okay.
And so she traveled to, different areas talking to first really Black people.
All right.
And specifically went to a college. I believe she went to UCLA. I may be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But she went to UCLA. She went to a open mic night where the topic for the night was white privilege. And I don't want to say they welcomed her with open arms.
Yeah.
But I remember one student in particular who said that she really took issue with being there in her presence because she said, you being here doing this documentary is white privilege in and of itself. Yeah. And she just wasn't.
Like, because you get to tell, it's interesting that you get to tell the story of how you.
Yeah.
But
and I respect Chelsea Handler for wanting to do this and actually for doing it. I respect her for that. But she was eventually told that, look, we as Black people are tired of having to explain what white privilege is. Yeah. We're tired of having to explain, why we feel this way when it's a you problem. This is a white people's problem. Y'all need to discuss
it's our problem, sort of. We got to deal with the ramifications, but it's them.
Terms of white privilege,
they're the ones that set it up. Yeah, they set the system up.
We know what it is. Y'all are the ones that seem so mystified and bright-eyed about what?
Like privilege.
Yeah, exactly. So she was told.
What are you talking about?
She was told in so many words, y'all need to discuss this amongst yourselves. And so then she goes to, white people in there. I think it was in Beverly Hills. And boy. Of course, these white women are like, I don't, white privilege. I don't know. I don't know.
Never heard of it.
What? And then she goes to, I want to say it was either Louisiana or Alabama, and she meets this white rapper named Jelly Belly, I think it is.
Oh boy.
And he pretty much calls her white trash. Ooh. And she tries to take it in stride, but when she describes everything that she had kind of been through, he goes again. So now you want to tell me again you're not white trash? Come to find out.
Because see, remember, when you're white, you get to kind of like cover your history. You get to be like, oh, I did all this when I was 15, 16. Let's put a blanket over there.
This is the thing, okay? Chelsea Handler has been she's been on the receiving end of white privilege to the 10th power. So Chelsea Handler reveals that when she was a teenager, she was out there in the streets pretty much. Word. She came from a nice family, a nice Jewish family. Yeah. Even though she claims they're the poorest Jewish family she's she's not.
Yeah, like
That's a whole other issue.
We're the poorest rich people there.
Okay. But she decided to run the streets. She decided she wanted a black boyfriend from the other side of the tracks. And so she, runs around with him. She starts skipping school. She's not in school. She's failing school. So he turns out to be a drug dealer. She's running drugs with him.
Wow.
She starts to do drugs a little bit.
Wow.
And she lives in his home with his mama and his grandma. So you come from your rich home and you go to their home where they're already struggling. He's
take resources from their home.
From their home just because you decide.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, gets pregnant by him twice.
Wow.
Has an abortion twice.
Woo.
Her daddy comes there, pulls her out by the hair, her quote, not mine. Pulls her out by the hair, tells her she's gonna have an abortion and she's coming back home.
Mm.
She reveals that she got stopped. She and her boyfriend got stopped by the police at least 4 times. They both had drugs on them. Guess who went to jail and who didn't?
The black guy.
You think? All 4 times. She said the police took the drugs from her and said, I don't want to see you around here no more.
Funny, isn't it? Funny how she got to just slide away from that.
Now, I say all that to say, again, I give her props for even doing this because it shows that she does see it. And she said she didn't really see it until now. I'm really talking about this. Okay, Chelsea. But
there's no way she dated all of these black guys and never once heard
all of these black guys.
Well, so all right, sorry. We know of 2. She dated him, the guy back in the past, and she dated 50 Cent.
Okay.
So we know of 2. There's no way racism never came up in the relationship once.
Right.
I don't know. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. But my issue is when it came to talking to white people about it, she was very, I'm going to dip my toe in. But when they come back with some foolishness, I'm not really going to say it. So what was the purpose of the conversation? But you know what? I don't want to be completely negative. Maybe this was a start for her.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a start. And again, I have to commend her for even doing it.
She didn't think the fire was going to burn her. She probably thought, like, I'm going to do this documentary on all these white people that don't get it, but I get it. And then when she started doing it, she was like, oh, snap, I don't get it.
Now, I will say towards the end, she spoke to one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter.
All right.
And she said, what can I do as a white woman? What can I do to help? And she told her from the get-go, she said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. What I don't want to do is sit here and coddle you, rub your back, and soothe you about the situation and explain to you anything else. We ain't doing that no more. We're done with that. Yeah. That's what we're not going to do.
True.
And I love that she said that off the bat because, we are tired of trying to explain to you something you already know.
Yeah.
It's like when a kid asks for something and you tell them no and they keep asking why. Yeah. I told you why once. I'm not going to keep telling you.
And don't worry why, because I said.
You understand. You just don't like the explanation.
Yeah. And big shout out to the chat. Black Cherubim said they invented race. And they invented racism and equality. American racism is government and systematic. Yeah, this is because technically this is the whole system. Like, who set up the system?
Right.
Once again, it's similar to when D.L. Hughley, and I know him and I don't agree on everything, but I say D.L. watches the show. I know that, but when he was talking about how a lot of white people are like they're taking our jobs, and he's like, well. Who gave them to them? Like, who's like, they can't just take jobs. Like, somebody can't come into your office and be like, hey, I like this desk. And just that's not how it works.
Don't forget to pay me on Friday.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Someone had to hire them, which is similar to when they do these big deportations. Like, we deported all these people from this factory. And I was like, well, who hired them?
Thank you.
Who hired them? Because why isn't that person not in jail for breaking the law?
Thank you.
See, 2 parties broke the law.
Thank you.
They came in here, but someone hired them and knew good and well they shouldn't have hired them.
Yeah.
So where they at? Somehow they never get brought up on charges.
And actually, if you really think about it, the person who took the job, how are they really breaking the law? What law exactly did they? What law is on the books? That's
I guess the only thing they could, maybe the only thing you can say is that they in here illegally, but they didn't take your job. They didn't they didn't steal it. They didn't go and get they didn't go into HR and hack in or something.
I would like to know what law they're being arrested for breaking.
It's probably just illegal immigration, because there's nothing particularly pertaining to the job that there's nothing particularly pertaining to the job that actually kind of, I guess, is law breaking, because someone hired them.
But we know the person who gave the job is breaking the law.
Yeah,
because
but see, the person that gave them the job is rich and white. But that said, Chelsea Handler, she out of here. You know what I'm saying? You did. I mean, you did about 65% good. So you did all right.
For effort.
Yeah. You gave it a shot.
I'll give you a D for follow through.
Yeah, you shot your shot. You did what you had to do. So next up, or lastly, I wanted to get into the Atatiana Jefferson situation, which is, big shout out to Always a Student real quick. Says, in order for capitalism to thrive, a poverty class and class wars are required. Also, no human is illegal. No document determines one's humanity. True. So I do believe there's a way for, you're right. Capitalism is one thing. I think our societies can thrive without a poverty class, but the way American capitalism is, I agree. They need a poverty class. They need someone to feel better than them, and they need someone to pick up their garbage when they throw it out, instead of figuring out some other cool way without demonizing people or dehumanizing people as well. Alan Lewis says, I wonder what the world would be like without money dictating everything. Star Trek. That's it. Star Trek. If you look in the future in Star Trek, they've left the concept of money, and it's just super technology, everything's cool. I don't think they ever really get into exactly how their government and politics work all the time, because most of the time we're seeing it from the Federation angle at other planets, but they're past that. But they, at the same time, they also had a Third World War, but they're past all that stuff. So Always a Student says, so yes, illegal immigration is low-hanging fruit, takes the onus off of those in control of the situation, in control of the resources. Yeah, but I know you wanted to say something to the last comment, or
I forgot.
So last thing I want to touch on is Atatiana Jefferson, who was taken from us now last week or week before that.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember the exact day, but taken from us. We kind of already know the story. It was erroneous. First it was a welfare check. Supposed welfare check. But the officer never, identified himself, no nothing. Then all of a sudden she had a gun. And the story now is she had a gun and she pointed it. That's the statement that they say they got from is it the son or the nephew? I'm sorry. I do not want to mess this up. I believe it's the son. So anyway, nephew. Sorry. So nephew. The problem with that statement that I have is when they released that video, they already got caught with doing that fake video thing with focusing in on the gun. And people were like, that's not the right video, the way they cut or the way they zoomed in or whatever. So they got caught. And that's why when they had that press conference, she was like, the gun is irrelevant. And it's like, yeah, it's irrelevant because y'all got caught faking the gun.
Yeah, they were saying she had a gun, she owned a gun, but they emphasized she was a legal gun owner. That was her gun that she owned.
That she was allowed to have in her house.
Right to have that gun in her home. And her having that gun in her home had nothing
to do with why you were around in her backyard.
Exactly.
Looking around and stuff. She should be like, yo, who is in my backyard?
And from the
yeah, I got it.
From what you sent me, I think the article was saying, or the video, because it was a lot of it, was saying that someone had called and was concerned because, you know, the doors were open, the windows were open, all the lights are on and everything like that. And so what the police were trying to say is they were checking on an open, how did they term it? Something like an open,
like an open
building,
door, open building,
yeah, and
something like that.
But see, that's not the same thing. You're not going into like a industrial area where there's just some random open building.
Yeah, this is a residence.
Home.
Yeah,
this is someone's home.
This is a residence.
So
I can have my doors open if I want, or I should.
This isn't an abandoned home. It would be different if it was a condemned abandoned home.
Yeah,
and then you could roll up in there like that. But people are living here.
Yeah. And there's no way.
It blows my mind.
There's no way, if let's say all the doors and all the windows were open, right? If they're playing video games, there's no way you don't hear the sound of that video game and them talking. Like when I play video games with my brother, you can hear the sound of the video game. You can hear us talking, you know, making fun of each other, playing online or something. So there's no way you didn't hear regular voices in that situation. It's just, it doesn't play out like that. And sadly, too, always a student says the focus on the family battle takes the focus off the state-sanctioned murder of another African and Black woman. And true, now the story is, oh, well, there's a family battle over the funeral, and the funeral got pushed back because the father and the aunt or the sister or whatever aren't getting along. And say, well, that's the funeral. Let's get to why they're having a funeral.
Thank you.
Let's get back to why they're having it.
And yeah, I don't want to.
And let's get back to Dallas, Fort Worth area where apparently you like, because see, here's the next step. And I know I'm gonna get my conspiracy card out. This is how they get you. See, first it was killing Black people. And they were demonized. Oh, he's selling drugs, or he has a record, or he had a speeding light, or there was a broken tail light. There's something, you know, criminal. All right. Now they're pushing the goalpost. Well, this Black person was just at home. Well, what were they doing at home? Oh, just chilling. Well, were they you know, Don Cartagena or Calderon or Scarface? No, they were just people chilling at home. Well, were they doing something illegal? No, they were just eating ice cream or playing video game, you know, just regular stuff. So they died? Yeah. For what? For being. And that's how you push that goalpost. Because now the new thing is going to be like, well, it don't matter where you are. You can just die just because. And that's, especially, and I'll be reviewing it later, after reading House of X and Powers of X and seeing what's going on now, I'm like, yeah. I'm kind of on that Malcolm stuff where it's like, look, we need our own. Give us our own section and you stay over there. We stay over here. And this is something else. Don't touch, don't come, don't talk, don't call, don't send no message. You stay your butt over there.
And this is something else that concerns me that I was reading is this police officer, he quit before they could really start doing any type of investigation. He just had to quit, which, you know, is his right to do.
But they did say that they're going to put it on his record that he was dishonorably discharged.
My concern, though, is that from what I read, if it's correct, that attorneys for the police, for the police are representing him. But my thing is this: you're no longer an officer. Yeah,
so you should have to get a regular defense attorney.
You know what I mean?
You shouldn't be afforded that protection. Yeah. You need to get a regular defense attorney.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how this is going to shake out, but at least from what we were told for the press conference is that the police union is not going to back him. The resources of the police, which now it seems like he's going to get some, are not going to back him. He's been dishonorably discharged. It will be on his record that basically he got fired. I mean, he quit before he could, but he said the guy said that he was going to fire him, and the guy just quit first, thinking that would help him. But he said, regardless, he's still going to put it on his record that basically he got fired. I guess this is the best right now before the rest of this investigation goes on, but this is way too close to this is way too close to be, to be worrying about something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's too close to be worrying about, hey, what's up with this funeral?
Yeah, I don't
to forget about this investigation.
I don't want to hear no parts of that. I will never come out of my mouth and say anything, about what issues they're having in terms of the funeral. I think it's tacky and insensitive to go there. It's not our business what issues they're having.
But you know how news. Because remember, all of these things are moving concurrently. So the police, people that back the police, right wing, all kinds of stuff. Just remember when both of them Jean died. You know what I'm saying? Respect, love, rest in peace to both of them Jean. First thing we heard, it smelled like marijuana in there. Were you there? How you know?
And even if you did, what does that have to do with
But what I'm saying is, that's interesting. That's the first thing that flew out here, is that it smelled like marijuana. So what you're going to do is jump back to what smelled like marijuana. Therefore, he should have got killed. Right. That's your way to walk it back. Like, therefore, he should have died because it smelled like marijuana in there. And I'm like, it's interesting that now, she had a gun. Yeah, that she was in her complete right to own. Notice NRA ain't up in this joint. We don't see the NRA coming out like, yo, she was supposed to have a gun. Actually, we glad that she got a gun.
Anytime it has to do with a black person having a gun, NRA is they go deaf. They go completely
quiet. Big shout out to the chat. Little Miss Chocolate says she lives in the South. Most black Southerners are legal gun carriers. It's the South. Black Cherubim says in VA, they will pull you over for driving black and with an air freshener.
Yeah.
Always a student says, and break your neck, paralyzing you for having weed. Yeah. Being from Virginia, the last few times I've been stopped was, I remember they stopped me one time. They said they were looking for someone in a Honda. And I was like, what? And I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was like, well, what kind of Honda? Is it like a Honda Passport, a Honda Accord, a Honda Prelude, a CRV, a CRX, a Civic? What color? I'm like, just a black man in a Honda. I'm like, I feel like you saw me and you were bored.
Kind of half of Richmond.
I mean, it's like half of Richmond is a black dude in a Honda. Like,
and depending on what year you talk about too, you really talking about half
I was like, and I mean, I honestly felt that dude was bored. Now, I mean, of course, he stopped me, so it's nothing I can do. But he was like, I guess I'll just let you go. We found out it was someone else. I'm like, yeah, I knew that. I mean, I didn't say that to him, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, all you had is a black guy in a Honda. That's it. That's all you had.
He's doing his best to contribute to whatever they're trying to do.
Oh man, Little Miss Chocolate said weed is always demonizing for black folks, but white people have been making money off weed for years. Yes, let's talk about that. So, and we're gonna follow up with Atatiana Jefferson because I think this statement from the nephew is funny. I think it's real funny. It's a supposed statement. I think this supposed statement is real funny, and I want to see how that checks out. We'll follow up on this. But the funny thing about the weed game, we're in LA, so we see these billboards, all ease and all these delivery, do it for the gram and all that. It's funny. The second you do this, all of a sudden y'all got all this money to market the weed, the weed companies. But you've already put as many black people you could in jail for the mess. Now my question is this. You told me yesterday in California, if you've been in jail, if you have a record, you can't sell weed.
I don't think it's just California.
Oh, you don't think it's just California?
Because I think it's if you have a felony, and anybody, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm getting details wrong. If you have a felony, you're not able to get a business license to sell marijuana. And my question is why? What is the purpose? Because you've already served your time.
Yep.
And you not being able to get a license, what is that preventing? Preventing you from doing something that's legal? Like sell marijuana? Because it's legal now.
Yeah, it's legal. See, the thing is, and gotta throw on a conspiracy hat for a second. Here's my thing. They was gonna legalize it way back, but it was like, you know what? Black people got the lock on it. They got the network, they got corner boys, they got everything. So Let's lock them up as many as we can for the next 20 or so years, 20, 30 years. Then we're going to legalize it. But we got all the money. We got the infrastructure in place. We've locked them up and said that when you get out, you can't sell it.
Because you not.
So now we got all your customers.
Yeah, as a felon, you're not allowed to sell, I guess, what might be considered a controlled substance. But then again, my question is why? It goes along with not being allowed to vote, even after you've served your time. What do you mean I can't vote? I've served my time. You want to punish me twice. Yeah,
it's like either you're punishing me forever or you're not. Which one you want?
Either you're punishing me by sending me to jail or you're punishing me by not allowing me to vote. But you can't give me two punishments for the same thing. And once I serve, one punishment, then you want to give me another one to last forever.
It doesn't.
You're trying to control me and saying you made a mistake and we're going to make you pay for it for the rest of your life because you're black. Because when a white person does something, Brock Turner, nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't get two punishments. You didn't get one.
Yeah, you didn't really get one punishment. Now, I mean, you went to court for a little bit and kind of forgot and smoothed out. Always a student say it's like the crack epidemic versus the opium crisis. Yeah, see, and listen to those words: epidemic and crisis. See, epidemic is like, oh snap, it was an epidemic. Crisis like, oh my God, it's a crisis. We must do something about this crisis.
Epidemic insinuates that the person doing the crack is doing something to somebody else.
Yeah.
Crisis
is something befalling. It's coming on you. The crisis is happening to you. And that's why, and I know there's people out there that's going to be mad. I haven't dropped a tear. I haven't been sad a bit. Now, hey, look, does it suck? Yes, it does. People dying for addictions. That sucks. But you ain't going to see me making no commercial, sharing no nut. I'm not interested. I'm not interested because when people that look like me were addicted, that had problems, that needed help. Oh, nobody cared. Won't nobody care.
Just say no.
Just say no. You know what I'm saying? Putting eggs in the frying skillet, everything. And now.
So why is the message to white people not just say no?
Now it's call the addiction network. Call right now.
Your insurance might cover it.
Yeah, and we'll help you. You need help. We're here to help you out. We just want to be on your side.
Were you letting the crackheads call and they have their insurance cover their own?
They was locking them up as fast as they could, separating children from their mamas, all kinds of stuff. Because, put on my hat again, ever since we could not be owned, the top priority was break the black family. That's been the top priority. Absolutely. Figure out a way to break the black family. Yep, that's right. We ain't doing that over here. Big shout out to Alan Lewis. He said, I don't smoke or drink because of these vocals. Big shout out to Alan Lewis. Herbert Scott, what up, Herbert Scott?
Alan Lewis, we got it. You got an album coming out. We got it. Okay, we got it. La 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 la. All right, we got you.
Herbert Scott in the house. Herbert Scott says, funny you mentioned the House and Powers of X. Not only did they get their own nation, but they got a miracle drug for humans in exchange for sovereignty. Professor X was on one. Yeah, it's man. The way House and Powers of X moves is real good. I'll be reviewing it with Jason Reeves of 133 Art later today. But it's a dope story. Like if you're black, you might want to read it because imagine Malcolm X, Martin, and the Black Panthers getting on one accord and being like, we gonna move as a unit. Because they even got Sebastian Shaw and White Queen to link up with them. And they was beefing since forever ago. So to get them and Apocalypse, get all those mutants that have been beefing throughout the years to be like, no, we all together, that it'll speak to you. It'll speak to you. You probably need to read those two. It's 12 issues. I read it in a day or two. You know what I'm saying? It's a quick read. It's a good read, and it'll speak to you. Alan said, "What happened to the Dare commercials?"
Mm.
Oh man.
They're so busy having Dare in black schools, they skipped over all the white schools.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need it.
Little Miss Chocolate said, "Where's Nancy Reagan?" Oh, I saw Little Miss Chocolate. You ain't got to take that back. I saw you. Oh man. They got, Herbert Scott said they got all the villains on deck. Yeah, man, because there was like, look, in that certain a way we need to roll sometimes is like, look, we don't get along with everything, but we black. All right. And this fire is coming for all of us. Since this fire is coming for all of us, we all need to link up. Like, look, me and you, we can, because they decide the punishment for, without dropping the spoiler, there's a mutant that breaks a mutant law that because they don't live by human laws. So they break a mutant law and they decide as mutants what they're going to do with that mutant. But the bottom line is like, look, even if we don't get along, we got, we all going to link up and figure out what we going to do. And it's being killed in your home is another level. And this is, I would not be surprised if this is not some social engineering test to see how far we can push before it breaks. Well, you know, how far can we push? Because both of them, John is a nut. Both of them, John, regular dude, didn't do nothing. Atatiana Jefferson, regular lady, she ain't did nothing.
Yeah,
and she's dead.
The thing is, through these last, I would say, maybe 10 years, they've been pushing the envelope further and further with us. It's exactly what you say. It feels like they've been testing the waters a little bit at a time to see how much pushback will they really get, you know, from us as a people when they systematically kill us in different forms. Now, they got the most pushback, I would say, when they were, you know, just flat out killing black men on the street, you know, put them in the chokehold and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yep.
And now they're like, okay, let's push the envelope a little bit more. Let's include black women in on this. Let's go ahead and start killing black women. Let's see how it looks.
Because they did Sandra Bland, but they at least said, oh, she had a broken tail light. She was driving illegally.
And that was so horrific, the details of that.
The fact that they opened her eyes and took that photo and
they photographed her after she was dead to make her appear that she was alive. And that's chilling, to say the least. But they're pushing the envelope further and further. And I have no idea how far they're really trying to go. I think the next step, now, well, I'm not going to put it out in the universe. I'm just going to say this. They're killing black men. They're killing black women.
Yeah.
So we can only imagine where they're going to go next. And I'm not going to put it out in the universe, but you know.
And big shout out to the chat. Black Cherubim says the federal government and states are doing this to blacks. DC is not a state, but marijuana is legal. But marijuana is still illegal under federal law. VA is a state, and weed is illegal. Herbert Scott said, right, I don't care about religion, political bent, sexual preference. We can sort that out later. And I've said that many times. Like, people will be like, oh, well, this is a black trans or something. I'm like, look, I don't care right now. Right now, they black.
Yeah.
I can deal with whether I'm cool with it or I think it's cool or whatever. Right now, you ain't messing with nobody that's black.
Right.
All right, this person black.
Exactly.
Now, when we get in our circle and we can discuss amongst ourselves what we like and don't like, that's cool. But white people ain't privy to that. Right now, look, hey, you leave my brother or sister or whatever they want to be alone.
This black person.
But this black person, leave them alone now. Now, after that, we can get all together and figure out what we want. You know what I'm saying? You got in X-Men, you got Mr. Sinister sitting up there with White Queen. You know they don't get along. But guess what? This is about the furtherance of their race, their people, and their protections. So it's like, look, we ain't got no time to be messing with y'all. We ain't got no time to be tripping on y'all. Alan Lewis said Lady Lisa is dropping jewels, so dropping gems. Word up. Alan Lewis says, I feel like we are heading towards another war. Society is on the verge of catastrophe. It's getting worse. There's things even internationally where it's like there's a lot of moving pieces that are. It doesn't seem like we're moving towards the utopia that I know. And I think that's another thing. We could have a utopia. Like we have the ability now. We got the technology. They have the technology. But you know, we got the technology. We got the ability. We got the money. We got the tools. We got everything to actually be a utopia. Like Like people in India don't have to live with trash all in the river and stuff. And in Africa don't have to have trash all and don't have to have Microsoft and Bill Gates making toilets for them. They don't have to. We can fix this. Like we have the ability, but we won't.
Real quick though, you said Bill Gates. We watched that special on Bill Gates and his life and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bill Gates.
Yeah, it's like honestly using the ingenuity, and that's what we should be doing. Using our best and brightest minds to figure out solutions. He was like, all right, cool. So they don't have plumbing. So all right, let's make toilets that take doo-doo and turn it to energy and then fix it, put it back around to the toilet to make water. And then like
what was that special?
It was The Mind of Bill Gates or something like that. It's on Netflix.
Guys, check that out, please. Not to plug Bill Gates or whatever, but I have to give him props on doing this. Check out that check out that special because what he did was absolutely amazing.
Even to figure out a problem like that is kind of cool.
It absolutely is. And
at least trying to solve something that doesn't have $1 in it. Yeah. Because that's the problem is like it's always got to be $1 in it, or we don't want to do nothing. I can't remember the country that they started in. I know it's in Africa, but I can't remember what country. Yeah. But it's in the documentary. You can check it out. Herbert Scott says Thomas Jefferson stated that this is an experiment. I will add that longitudinal study to usurp, mimic, and successfully create a Black culture with a homogenized group of Europeans. What? Okay. You might have to send me some links on that. I'm like, what? Always a student said, Alan, we are at war right now. We just collectively aren't prepared ideologically, spiritually, or analytically. Barraborn, shout out. Great. Thanks for rolling through to the chat. Black feminists like the system how it is, unless it affects them. They want to be part of white supremacy. That's something I've seen come up a lot. I'm not extremely sold on that idea. I'm hoping that it's not, I'm hoping that it's not right, but I'm not super sold on that idea. I have seen examples where at times a Black feminist from here or there might do something, but I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping those are outliers because you Black and you're Black. Herbert Scott says globally we are 5 till midnight. This is done on purpose to induce stress and mania and easily control the population. Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to go down that route, yes, fear always works. Like, we remember that insurance commercial we saw? It was like, your teenager is going to die when they drive the car and you need the insurance. I was like, Dad, why they gotta be so scary? Because they made it seem it was like nationwide or something, but they made it seem like the second your kid get keys, dead. Like I was like, Dad, I shouldn't waste my money on insurance. Yeah, it's like, why buy insurance? They dead. But it's like everything works on fear. Like be scared of Mexicans, be scared of Black people, be scared of gay people, be scared of trans people. Just be scared because they're coming to take things. You know what I'm saying? They're coming to take your women or something. And I'm still waiting. I'm still looking for all these women that got taken. I'm still trying to see where all these women got taken from. You know what I'm saying? It's like where they at. But yeah, you good. So to see, to see the way fear is used is just not. It's generally not a good look, and it's hurting us as a whole. And when I say us, I mean society, not even white or Black people, just society is hurting us. Let's see. Keith Cooper, what up? Keith Cooper is in the house. Says we aren't moving to that at all. We aren't moving to that at all. What up, folks? It's been a minute. Nice to see you lounging. Little Miss Chocolate says Malcolm X tells us media will make the victim look like the aggressor, and the aggressor look like the victim. Watch out for media. Yep, it's true. Because that's why it's like the first thing, she had a gun. She's allowed to have a gun. And actually, let you tell it, she should have a gun. Remember, good guy with a gun. Everybody needs a gun. Why don't you just get a good guy with a gun? We don't need to take guns. Just get a good guy with it. And a good guy can go and fix it. And, So it's like, which one you want?
People have to understand too. If they want to paint this picture that she went and got a gun to pull on the police, there was no time for that.
And also, since he did not identify himself as a police.
Hold on, but the thing is this: there was no time for that. This was a very, very, very small time frame. Between when she was hearing noises outside and when she got shot.
Yep.
So we're supposed to believe that she just had this gun laying around with her nephew in the house, just laying around. I mean, come on, y'all, don't do this. You know?
Alan Lewis says 2020 is going to be a crazy year, new decade, new election. Be prepared, y'all. Yeah, I know we. I guess I can say I know we as a society in general, and I know we as Black people can turn it around. I don't know if we will. I'm leaning towards we can, because I know we have the ability to do it. With this whole stuff with both John, with Atatiana Jefferson, we gotta mobilize, y'all. Like, for real. I don't think. Also, I'll say this about House of X and Powers of X. Those two book series that are essentially one. I don't think it's by coincidence that drops now. I think it's very interesting that drops now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, we need to take some lessons from Marvel, y'all. But nah, hey, I'm just tripping on that. But big shout out before we bounce. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for hanging with us. We've been chilling. We've been having a great time. Big shout out to Dave Farrar of Geek Fine Art with the artist sponsored wall. Big shout out to NERDSoul Light. Big shout out to Lady Lisa. Glad y'all came through. Big shout out to Keith Cooper for coming through. Big shout out to Alan Lewis, Barraborn. Big shout out to Little Miss Chocolate, Herbert Scott, Black Cherubim. I don't know if I said you already, can't remember. Always a student. Thank you for rolling through. Go ahead.
I was going to say shout out Solar and
Solar, great. Yes, this weekend, Double Toasted did a live show at Catch One in LA. I got a chance to see it. I got a chance to be involved with the show in a small way, but I still got a chance to be involved. Big shout out to Solar Gray for hooking all that up. You can check that on Back in the Deck, which is Big P on YouTube. You can just Back in the Deck, one word. You can find him. And Double Toasted, if you don't already know about them. Double Toasted, you can just search that in YouTube. You'll find them just fine. But fun show, great show. Got a chance to hang out with them after the show or the day after at a cookout. Enjoyed it, great time. Corey's cool, Chris is cool, Martin cool, Mia, all of them. Oz, big shout out to Bert. All of y'all was great.
Shout out to Solar's mama.
Oh yeah. Solar's mama made they was cooking.
Salad.
Yo, that potato salad was on point. Ribs was on point. The peach cobbler was on point.
Shout out to Solar for that homemade cheesecake.
Oh yeah, that homemade cheesecake. See, I didn't get none of that, but that was a bomb too. Oh. So man, they cook for real. Man, y'all had me want to take a plate home for real. Like for real. But guys, thank you for hanging with us. Much love from us to y'all. And until next week, man, keep your head up, man, because it ain't easy out there. And Black people, let's mobilize. Peace. See, peace.